We wanted the Prime Minister to know we're serious, we're there, this is our presentation. These are the leaders in the Yukon that have worked on these documents. We did a lot of consultation with our people throughout the Yukon. They were brought into Whitehorse. So the grievance document was really important, and to be there in person to do the presentation. And it was good to have all the leaders there. We all stood behind that grievance document, and we wanted to let them know that how sincere that we are, that agreements have to be settled in the Yukon Territory. So when we got there, we went into the House of Commons and went into one of the meeting rooms there, and he gave us his response, and he said yes. Well, I don't have the exact words, but he definitely was ready to start a land claims negotiations for the Yukon First Nations people. The elders had really played a major role. A lot of times we wanted to go off on a different path, or we want to hit back for the way we've been treated. But the elders is the one that really call us on it. And they said, we're not here. We're not here to pay people back for the way they treated us. We have a lot of non-Aboriginal people that are married into our community, that live with us, that work with us, and we need to all get along. Because there's no way you can say, okay, non-Aboriginal people, you got to leave the Yukon. We own the whole Yukon. No. It's been many years, and like I said, a lot of them are married into our family. They have grandchildren here with us, and we need to move on and work together and support each other. What you see happening today in various areas throughout the Yukon for First Nations people is something we never had back in 1973. We never had businesses, we never had corporations. We now have full control of who we are, how our council, how our leaders get elected, instead of the Prime Minister or the Minister of Indian and Northern Affairs, that's what they were called at that time, as to who's going to be the chief in council, who could vote, who can't vote, who's the status, who's a non-status. There was many things, I would say a lot of discriminatory laws that were made against, especially the Aboriginal women. Our men, if they wanted, or anybody that wanted to go and fight in the world, had disenfranchised from being a status Indian. We had a lot of our family that wanted to send their children to the public school had to disfranchise to be a non-status. So there was a lot of discrimination laws that were against our people. I'm just amazed to see how the young people are really anxious to get out there, and they want to do the beadwork, they want to do their art, they want to do their songs, and they want to learn their language. And it's amazing. None of that really was hardly there in 1973. We did have a few women, my mother as an example, Annie Smith, who sat and did her beading, did a lot of beadwork and sell them, made vests, mucklucks. This was for her to put food on the table. This was a way for her to make money to feed her children and her family. But today you have a lot of them that are, a lot of the different artists that are out there that are getting a name, having a name and being recognized for the work that they do, the artwork that they do. I believe you'll see a lot of our young people today, and the ones that are coming in the future will have a smoother way of doing things out there. They will be well on implementing the land claims agreements. I see a little struggle today on implementing these agreements, not just with First Nations, but even with other governments. A lot of people, these land claims agreements are laws, and they need to be implemented. So it's been a little slow, a little struggle, I believe, but it's going to come. So hopefully by 50 years from now, the future generation, I see a really good future generation coming up for our people, and they'll be well on their way. Can I believe it? It's 50 years. I think I can, because I'm over that age. No, it's been a long ways. It's been a long journey, and I'm just so blessed to be able to have the leaders throughout the Yukon and the support staff that I had throughout my life to really help move our agenda forward. And everybody put a lot into it. It's not just a one-time thing. We had good discussion on many items and talked it out, and we reach it on consensus basis. Yeah, so when you deal with consensus basis, you will give it the time to discuss it. And we did.